Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. I was thinking the other day, just looking around my house, how much we take for granted. From the food we eat to the gadgets in our homes, some inventions have truly shaped the way we live. I mean, can you imagine life without a lot of things? It's kind of wild to think about. We wake up, we grab a cold drink, we heat up some leftovers, we turn on a light, all without a second thought. But every single one of those actions was made possible by a brilliant, game-changing idea. So I thought it would be fun, and a little mind-blowing, to take a look at some of these incredible inventions. We're going to dive into the stories behind them, the aha moments, and how they completely flipped the script on daily life. This isn't just a history lesson, guys. It's an appreciation post for the geniuses who made our lives what they are today. And we're going to cover a little bit of everything. We're talking about things in your kitchen, both food and the gadgets that cook it, and some major household items that you probably use every single day. Get ready, because this list is packed with some heavy hitters. Some of these you might expect, but I bet a few will surprise you. We're going on a journey from the kitchen pantry to the medicine cabinet, from the laundry room to the entire World Wide Web. It's going to be a blast. So grab a snack, a conveniently preserved, easily prepared snack, of course, and let's get into the game-changing inventions that literally built the modern world around us. Let's do this. Alright, first up, let's talk about something that is, quite literally, one of the coolest inventions ever. The refrigerator. I mean, seriously, think about it. Before this big humming box showed up in our kitchens, keeping food from going bad was a huge challenge. You had ice boxes, which were a thing, but you needed a guy, the Iceman, to come deliver a giant block of ice every few days. It sounds like a bit from a black and white movie, right? The Iceman cometh. But it was real life. Food would spoil so fast, and things like fresh milk, meat, or even just leftovers were a ticking clock. You had to eat it, like now. Then bam! Refrigeration comes along and completely changes the game. It wasn't just about keeping your soda cold, you guys. This was a revolution in food safety. Suddenly you could store food for days, even weeks. It drastically reduced foodborne illnesses and meant families could buy groceries in bulk, saving time and money. Fresh fruits and vegetables became available year-round, not just when they were in season locally. It completely transformed our diets, our health, and our supermarkets. The humble fridge didn't just give us cold beer, it gave us a safer, healthier, and more convenient way to eat. It's the unsung hero of the kitchen, and it all started with the simple idea of making things cold. Incredible. Okay, from cold to hot in, 90 seconds. Let's talk about the microwave oven. This thing is the MVP for college students, busy parents, and anyone who has ever said, "I'm hungry right now." The story behind it is fantastic too. It was an accident. A guy named Percy Spencer was working on radar technology during World War II, and he noticed a candy bar in his pocket had melted. He wasn't even trying to invent a new kitchen appliance. He was just a guy who loved chocolate, probably, and realized this magnetron thing he was working with could cook food. How great is that? He tried popcorn next. Great choice, Percy. And then an egg, which exploded. But science. Before the microwave, reheating leftovers meant firing up the oven or a stovetop, which took forever and used a ton of energy. It was a whole process. But the microwave? It made quick meal prep a reality. It didn't just change how we reheat food. It created an entire industry of microwave-specific meals. Frozen dinners, microwave popcorn, those little cups of mac and cheese, none of that would exist. It fundamentally changed our kitchen routines and our relationship with time. It gave us the power to turn a frozen block of lasagna into a bubbling hot meal in minutes. For better or for worse, the microwave redefined fast food and became an essential part of the modern kitchen. Now for an invention that is just brilliant. Get it? Brilliant? The light bulb. It's so simple we barely even notice it anymore, but it completely altered human existence. Before electric light, the world basically shut down when the sun went down. Your productivity was tied to daylight. You had candles, you had oil lamps, and they were dim, they were a fire hazard, and they were kind of a pain. Imagine trying to read a book or do your homework by candlelight every single night. It sounds romantic for about 5 minutes, and then your eyes start to hurt. Then Thomas Edison and his team perfect this little glass bubble with a glowing filament inside, and the world is never dark again. It's not just about being able to see in the dark. It extended the day. Factories could run night shifts, increasing productivity and changing the economy. Homes became safer. Streets became brighter and less dangerous. People could study, work, or just socialize late into the evening without huddling around a flickering flame. It literally powered the second industrial revolution and allowed for the creation of nightlife, late-night diners, 24-hour stores, everything. It's such a fundamental part of our lives that we only notice it when the power goes out, and suddenly we remember what life was like before it. Okay, let's talk about chores. Specifically, the one chore that this next invention saved us from laundry. I'm talking about the washing machine. Guys, you have no idea. Before this magical machine, doing laundry was an all-day, back-breaking job. It was often called wash day, and it was dreaded. It involved hauling water, heating it over a fire, scrubbing every single piece of clothing by hand on a washboard, wringing them out, which is exhausting, and then hanging everything to dry. It was a full-body workout that took hours and hours, and it was typically done by women. The invention of the electric washing machine was a social revolution hidden inside a home appliance. It liberated people, primarily women, from hours of grueling manual labor every single week. All that time and energy could suddenly be used for other things: education, employment, leisure, or just, not having sore arms. It dramatically improved hygiene too, because people could wash their clothes more often and more effectively. It seems like such a simple thing, a machine that just spins clothes around with soap and water, but its impact on household life, on families, and on freeing up human potential is just massive. It's not just a convenience, it's a time machine. Alright, we're jumping from the laundry room to the entire planet with this next one. The internet. I mean, what can you even say? You're watching me on it right now. It's hard to even describe its impact because it is our impact, it's everything. It started as a government project, a way for military computers to talk to each other. It was this niche, academic thing for years. I remember when people first started talking about email and the World Wide Web, and it sounded so futuristic and complicated, like something out of Star Trek. And now, it's completely woven into the fabric of our lives. It's how we communicate, how we shop, how we learn, how we bank, how we get our news, how we fall in love. It connects billions of people across the globe in an instant. Think about it. You can have a video call with someone on the other side of the world for free. You can access the sum of human knowledge from a device that fits in your pocket. It has created entire industries and made others obsolete. It's probably the most transformative invention since the printing press, or maybe even ever. It's not just a tool, it's a new dimension of human experience. Before we could connect with the entire world, we first had to connect with the person in the next town over, and for that, we have the telephone. Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. Those were the first words ever spoken over a telephone by Alexander Graham Bell. And with that one sentence, the world shrank. Before this, long-distance communication was basically sending a letter or a telegram. It took days, or even weeks. It was slow. You couldn't have a real back-and-forth conversation. You sent your message and you waited. The telephone was magic. It was instantaneous voice communication. You could hear the emotion in someone's voice from miles away. It revolutionized business, allowing for faster deals and better coordination. It connected families that were separated by distance, making the world feel a little less lonely. It was crucial in emergencies, allowing people to call for a doctor or the fire department. It laid the groundwork, literally the wires, for the communication network that would eventually lead to the internet. From those first clunky wall-mounted phones to the smartphone in your hand, the core idea remains the same, connecting human voices across any distance. So this next one is a little different. It's not a gadget or an appliance, but honestly, it might be the most important invention on this entire list. I'm talking about penicillin, and just like the microwave, it was discovered by accident. Back in 1928, a scientist named Alexander Fleming came back from vacation and found that a mold had contaminated one of his petri dishes. I mean, what a mess, right? But then, he noticed something incredible. Around the mold, the bacteria he was studying had been completely wiped out. He realized this mold, penicillium, was producing something that killed bacteria. That something was penicillin, the world's first true antibiotic. Before this, even a simple scratch could lead to a deadly infection. Surgeries were incredibly risky. Diseases like pneumonia, scarlet fever, or syphilis were often a death sentence. Penicillin changed all of that. It turned deadly infections into treatable conditions. It made surgery so much safer and honestly saved countless lives during World War II. It launched the age of antibiotics and completely revolutionized medicine, adding an estimated 20 years to the average human lifespan. It's really not an exaggeration to say that millions of people alive today, maybe even you or me, wouldn't be here without this accidental, miraculous mold. Okay, this one is a bit controversial today, but you cannot deny its impact. Plastic. The word itself actually comes from the Greek plastikos, which means able to be molded. And that's exactly what makes it so incredible. It's not just one single thing. It's actually a huge family of materials that can be made hard, soft, flexible, rigid, clear, or colorful. Its versatility is honestly almost infinite. The first fully synthetic plastic, Bakelite, was invented in 1907, and it totally opened the floodgates. Suddenly, we had a material that was cheap, lightweight, durable, and waterproof. It could be molded into almost any shape you could imagine. If you just look around you right now, your computer, your phone case, your pen, the bottle your water came in, parts of your car, even your clothes, plastic is everywhere. It replaced heavier, more expensive materials like wood, metal, and glass in countless applications. It made products way more affordable and accessible to the masses. From medical devices like sterile syringes and IV bags, to food packaging that keeps things fresh, its influence is absolutely undeniable. It has shaped the look, feel, and function of the modern world. Let's head back to the kitchen pantry for this one. It's something you probably have in your cupboard right now: canned food. It seems so basic, but the process of canning was actually a revolutionary breakthrough in food preservation. This goes all the way back to the Napoleonic Wars in the early 1800s. Napoleon needed a way to feed his troops on the move, so the French government actually offered a prize to anyone who could figure it out. A chef named Nicolas Appert discovered that if you sealed food in airtight containers and heated them, the food just wouldn't spoil. This was a total game changer. It meant you could preserve food for months, even years, without refrigeration. It was crucial for long sea voyages, military campaigns, and expeditions, helping to prevent scurvy and starvation. It made a wider variety of foods available to people who lived far from farms. During winter months, families could eat fruits and vegetables that were out of season, preserved from the summer's harvest. It created a stable food supply that was safe, portable, and long-lasting. So next time you pop open a can of soup or beans, give a little nod to Napoleon and his hungry army. It's a simple invention with a huge historical appetite. Last but not least, let's talk about an invention that really cleaned up: the vacuum cleaner. Before this came along, cleaning your floors and rugs was honestly a dusty, dirty business. The main method was to take your rugs outside and beat them with a rug beater. It was messy, it was exhausting, and it just threw a cloud of dust everywhere, which would then settle right back inside your house. For indoor floors, it was all brooms and dustpans, which mostly just pushed the fine dust around instead of actually removing it. The first vacuum cleaners were honestly wild. They were huge gas-powered machines that were pulled by horses and had long hoses that went in through the windows. It was a whole service, but eventually, they became smaller, more portable, and electric. Suddenly, people could deep clean their own homes efficiently. The vacuum cleaner didn't just push dirt around, it sucked it up and removed it from the living space. This had a huge impact on home hygiene, reducing allergens like dust and dander in the air. It made homes cleaner and healthier places to live. It took a thankless, inefficient chore and made it faster, easier, and way more effective. Wow, what a list, right? From keeping our food fresh to connecting us with the entire world in seconds, it's honestly amazing to think about how these ideas completely changed everything. These inventions and products have truly shaped the world we live in today, making life easier, safer, and more connected. They are the invisible architecture of our daily routines. We use them so often that they just become part of the background. But each one has a story of a problem that needed solving, and a brilliant mind that stepped up to the challenge. It just makes you appreciate the little things so much more. It's incredible to consider that at one point, none of this existed. Life was darker, chores were harder, communication was slower, and a simple infection could be a major crisis. These inventions aren't just objects. They totally represent progress and human ingenuity. They are the building blocks that our modern society stands on. From the refrigerator to the internet, each one solved a fundamental problem, and in doing so, unlocked new possibilities for all of us. It really makes you wonder what the next big, game-changing invention will be that future generations will take for granted. So now I have to turn it over to you guys. This was my list, but I want to know what you think. What invention on this list do you think is the absolute most important? Is there a game changer that I missed? Let me know down in the comments. I read them all and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was a blast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.